your MMA hub here with Marcin Tybura. Marcin, delighted to have you here. How has your time been at home since the fight?
Hello everyone. Since I came home, I'm resting actually, train a little bit. So I'm waiting for anything that might happen soon. I mean, our UFC said they might be back in Fight Island again. So I'm trying to keep myself ready for this one. But also I'm trying to rest a little bit because there was a short camp for this fight, but very intense. I had to move to a different city in Poland for my camp, and now I'm trying to spend some time with my family, and that's it.
Yeah, for sure. As you sort of said, obviously with everything going on in the world with coronavirus, how was your camp? Obviously, it sounds like it was affected quite a bit from normal.
It was, but the main thing is that I couldn't move to US for my camp because I did last time. I moved to Vegas. I trained with John Wood and UFC Performance Institute. So that didn't happen because of the restriction. So I decided to move to Poznan, Polish city where there's Ankos MMA Poznan and coach Andrzej Kościelski, which I think is right now the best in Poland and one of the best in Europe because he got like a couple of guys from outside of Poland who comes here to train with him, and yeah, I decided to move there for my camp, and I'm probably gonna be going there much more than for I don't know, maybe for camps, maybe for the time when between the camps, we'll see.
Yeah, how was that sort of training back in Poland? Because I know some fighters sort of like training further away from home. I don't know if that affected you at all, sort of being closer to home at all.
Or? Well, I don't mind to be home, train at home. But the thing when you move somewhere far away from home, it's a different environment. So it's easier, to get focused just on training. But I'm actually type of the guy who just try to spend the time between the training like the most effective, which sometimes I'm doing some stuff at home, some work or whatever. So yeah, I don't mind being at home. I don't mind being away because it's nice to travel to visit new place and train with the new people.
Yeah, for sure. When did you sort of find out about your opponent change? Because obviously you had that to deal with as well in the build-up.
So all the transportation to Abu Dhabi was crazy. We fly to London where we had a quarantine for nearly 4 days because that was 3.5 days spending separately in the rooms, and we was allowed to to go out of the rooms at any time during this quarantine. So I got a message from my manager. I found it in the morning because he was speaking with a matchmaker from States during the night, and I found it in the morning. There's a different opponent. He didn't even ask me if I agree or whatever because he knew I would agree, and they just make a deal and just let me know.
Yeah,
That was a crazy thing because we couldn't like even set a new plan, like sit together and talk about my opponent. We just were on the phones, but still there was like a week in Abu Dhabi where we could adjust our new plan for the opponent. But it was a completely different game plan for this one because Alexander Romanov was like an offensive wrestler, and Maxim Grishin was more like a striker.
Yeah.
So that's a completely different type of fighter.
For sure. That must be tough as well when you're on your own in quarantine, like thinking about all these changes and like, will there be a fight? Will there like all this going on?
Yeah, there was there was all crazy about waiting for we knew when we go to the quarantine, if somebody will be tested positive for COVID, the fight will be off. So there would be like I don't know, eight, six people or eight people who have to be like clear for the fight. So yeah, that was actually waiting and a little bit stressed, but all of the things about the restriction, the fight island is completely different than before. So
Yeah.
it all matches like for the crazy thing like MMA is.
Yeah. How did you find Fight Island? I've spoken to a few people sort of out there, and they said it's crazy. Like the hotels were really nice, and I think most people got business class. I don't know if you got that to your flight out.
Yeah, we were all in a business class for this one. And the Fight Island was, it wasn't my first time in Abu Dhabi because I competed in Jiu-Jitsu there 2 times. So I was already able to visit the city and see more. This time we just spent the time on the island where we are allowed to go just to the beach and around the hotel. And the nicest thing was the Formula One, the circuit, the racing tour. I don't know how you say it.
The track, yeah.
Yeah, the track. So we were able to drive, not to drive, but to be driven by the professional drivers there. And the speed was impressive there, which they said the Formula One is much bigger, and that was a really great experience.
Yeah, you a big F1 fan then?
Sorry?
Do you like Formula One?
I'm not that fan who just watch every race. I watch it more when I was a Polish driver, Robert Kubica.
Yeah.
There, so that was big thing in Poland, and everyone's watch it. Right now, maybe less. I'm not watching every race, but yeah. But
yeah, it helps when you have someone from your country sort of competing in it, I guess. The fight itself, how did you sort of rate your performance against Maxim?
How I like my performance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was I like the way it goes. So I won every round, and that was dominating during this fight. I'm not quite happy to not finish him before the time, but the thing is that I'm thinking his plan was much of to survive during this fight. And he moved a lot, just try to be long distance for me, and he was quick on his legs. He was just moving around. So yeah, our plan for this one was to clinch him, to take him down and finish him on ground. I couldn't, and I was quite happy to still be able to work much harder than him in the third round when I found out he was gas out, and I was able to even speed it up and try to finish him until the end of the time. And so I think that was the best run for me. I took him down, I took his mount, and I took his back. I wasn't able to finish him, unfortunately, but still, that was one judge give it 10-8 to me on this run. So yeah, that was kind of the plan for the fight from my coach, who said that we have to wrestle him, try to take him down. Maybe not the first time, not the second time, but third, fourth time, try it, and then I'll make him tired, and I will take him down, and that was it. That was how the fight looked like.
You were saying there that you were carrying on training. I think on your post-fight interview, you said you wanted to sort of face somebody in the rankings. I think quite a lot of people in the rankings have fights sort of organised already. Is it one way you maybe keep going and just if somebody falls out injured or for whatever other reason you try and step in?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think I will move to the my gym like next week, where I train like normally. I mean to Ankos, where I did my camp, and I will be try to stay in shape and doing my camp because one of my friends who trained is also preparing for the fight. I will help him and I will be ready. I said I want to fight somebody in the ranking, but still I'm not choosing any opponent. And if the UFC offer me even another newcomer, because last two fights was a newcomer. Maybe Sergey Spivak wasn't a newcomer, but he was like two fights in the UFC right now. Before my fight. So whoever they offer me, I will fight. And if they offer the like replacement, but probably if it's happening on the Fight Island, because I don't think that I would be able to make a short notice replacement and fly to States, because I at this time I don't have my work visa because it's expired and they're not releasing you until you have like a fight schedule. So yeah, if anyone's will just if there will be open short replacement in States, I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
So, but if the Fight Island happen, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready to go there again.
Yeah. I suppose it gives you a little bit of a break as well between now and Fight Island. Like you've had a few weeks to sort of
Yeah.
be at home with family, which you don't get to do so often in this profession.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, right now I'm just resting, but still, like last couple of I would say years, maybe 2 years wasn't like a good time for me where I got bad losses in the UFC, which I think was kind of some mental things in my head, which I struggle with. That was probably the thing I trained with. I actually lost two fights with the Verdum and Derek Lewis, which made me thinking about if I'm able to compete with the top 10 in the UFC, and got me like a few fights like that was not good quality, I guess, not good performance. Right now everything is back to normal. I got on track, and I'm really hungry to do as much as possible in the UFC, and I'm training so hard, and actually I'm ready whenever and wherever.
Yeah. You sort of said it then when it's a very tough industry. Like I guess there's a lot of, as you said, mental pressure. See, when you get one or two losses, then it's your future in the UFC as well. Did that sort of weigh on your mind at all when you were like having those losses at all?
If you mean the future of the UFC is like if they gonna fire me or I'm losing my contract, so yeah, I'm not scared. I'm not worried about this one because I'm not in the UFC only to retain my contract.
Yeah.
I'm trying to climb the rankings, get to the top, and that is my goal, not just remaining in the UFC, you know what I mean? So once I got these two losses, which actually was, top five, which was Fabricio and Derek, that was my first time in my career that was two losses in a row. And yeah, that got me thinking about what I'm doing wrong and how can I get better, and that brings me to the time when training wasn't as much fun for me as it was before.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's probably giving me this time when I got two losses from the actually TKO or maybe say KOs from another two fights. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a hard time for me, and I just actually got with a new plan in my head, train much harder, try much harder, and I figure if you want to compete with those top fives, you just have to want it to much more than just a regular guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel right now. I have to do much more than the other guys in the gym. That's it.
When you were sort of saying it affected you mentally, like, and maybe not in a good way, what did it sort of do for you?
What I mean by that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like loses to fights. Even if the top five just made me thinking because I couldn't say anything wrong about my camp. Everything went good, and I was prepared good for this fight, for this fight, and that made me thinking what did I did wrong and what I can do more. You know what I mean? And that's like I lost my ambitions. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine any plan in my head. What can I do more? Because for all this, two of these fights, I moved to Albuquerque to Jackson Away, which is a really great gym, and it didn't help actually to train with those guys. So I figured after these two losses and another two losses, I figured that something's wrong in my head, and I have to just try it harder, and that's it. It's everything's it's possible. You just have to try it harder. That's it.
For sure. I guess looking back now and all the changes you've made, it must be good to see them that they've worked.
Yeah. It does. I just feel really great. I mean, during the last camp, I feel great, and during this one, even though it's short notice, I'm making that short notice because there was still like 4 weeks, 3 weeks to train and 2 weeks to travel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was so confident about my winning, and that I'm feeling great.
Yeah. Does it make you enjoy the sport more as well when obviously you're winning?
Sorry?
Does it make you enjoy the sport more again, sort of when you're winning?
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm enjoying first of all, I'm enjoying the time on the gym.
Yeah.
In the gym. So that's kind of the most important thing. If you're not feeling, good in the gym and just feel a bit depressed about everything, there's no way you're going the right direction. Right now, I'm enjoying my time in the gym. Can't wait to do another train, and that's it.
Yeah. You sort of said like depressed a little. Did you have depression at all, or just sort of like low moments?
Well, it's hard to say for me if I had depression because I don't know the symptoms of depression.
Yeah.
And I never thought about this. That would be a depression. So I wouldn't say it, but that was kind of depression from sport. I mean,
yeah.
I would say. I don't know the science. How the science.
Yeah. Sure, that's fair enough. I sort of saw in your post-fight interview as well, Alexey Oleinik. I think you sort of wanted to face ideally as a opponent. Is that still the same?
I was saying that, yeah. Since there is like the bottom of the top 15 ranking, and the other guys are most like the guys who I already fought. Even though there are some guys who I lose with there. So about calling them would be pointless because I don't think they would be willing to give me the fight right now. When I'm still under them in the ranking. So Alexey Oleinik was the closest one. I would think would be the good match for me, but still, it's like what I say, whoever, and if they offer me someone else, I will take it.
Yeah, for sure. What's your sort of like contract status? Have you got like several more fights, or just like 1 or 2 fights left in your contract?
I signed a new contract right before this one. So
okay.
I had there was a 4-fight contract, and so I got 3 left.
Good stuff. That is good security for you, like job security, like having a new contract just before the fight.
Once again?
Good like security, so like safety having that contract for you financially.
Yeah, it's all fine. I'm glad still I'm not doing this for having a contract. I'm just trying to to get to be the best. So yeah, that's it. I wasn't worried about this contract at all.
Yeah.
there will be some time.
Yeah, you sort of said as well you're not happy just going from contract to contract. The ultimate aim, I guess, is to win the UFC belt for yourself.
Well, once again, sorry.
You sort of said earlier that you're not happy just like keeping a contract with the UFC, that you want to achieve. Like, I guess you want to win the heavyweight belt someday.
Yeah. That's what I meant. That just remaining in the UFC, being like even top 15 or a bit under, and just staying there is not something that I'll be satisfied with. And just thinking about getting better and climb this running, not just retain the contract.
Yes. That's it. Good stuff. Well, listen, thank you very much for your time, Marcin. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of your break, and hopefully you get some fight news soon.
Thank you. Have a good one.